some rate cards. Rate cards means the price the press and the local press will charge for advertising on traditional promotional methods. That's the paper-based or billboards or TV-based, and the online rate as well. So I've managed to find figures for those 7 areas just to give you an idea, and we'll have a quick look at those. So here's the Birmingham Business Magazine, and if you've not heard of it, that's fair enough, but it's a bi-monthly magazine designed for the business community in Birmingham. And what you've got on the left, you've got their premium positions. If you have a look, outside back cover, which is 1,500 for one ad for one day. Inside front cover, if you look, it's slightly cheaper. That's 1,250 for one ad on one day. So think about those ones, and all the prices going all the way down. Then you've got sponsorship opportunities in the middle, so you get to see what they can offer. And then you've got the reach information. The reach is, if you remember, how many people and how much geographic area that it can actually cover. So there's some information for you on Birmingham Business. Well, here's the same. Here's Shropshire Business. This is kind of the same thing for the business community in Shropshire. And you can see the different rates there on the right. You can see the double page spread. There is £1,000 for one day. You can see the back cover, which is £800 for one day, going all the way down to a quarter of a page, which is £175. All of these are in colour, so these are all for one day prices. And most businesses won't be going out to do an advertising campaign just for one day. Now here's another one, the CEO magazine for FMCG. Now you might be wondering what this is. So down the bottom I've got a definition for you. FMCG stands for fast moving consumer goods. And the examples are things that you buy every day: fruit, veg, confectionery, dairy products. It's not all actually food though, so I've got toiletries as another example on the end as well. And considering what these products are and who sells these products, that's the key thing to this. So that you're talking about the big supermarkets and big retailers who sell this. This is the price for advertising in this magazine. You've got some 4-page rates on the right hand side, as you can see, £795, and a half page, £495. And down, as you go down the page, you've got a quarter of a page and an eighth of a page, as they're getting smaller and smaller. Then underneath that you've got an advertorial. An advertorial basically means the page is covered in text as if it's an interview, but it's an interview designed specifically to promote the product. Now this page carries on with the FMCG magazine, and it shows you the names of the companies which actually support and use the magazine. So you can see that on the left, and then on the right hand side you can actually see where they do specialist features per month. So depending on the product that you, the company, are, remember that's one of the 4 factors, then that might be the month that you choose when to advertise. Now this is a free radio campaign specifically designed in Shropshire. You can see for the map underneath the reach, you can see its geographical profile. Then as you go down, you look at the listener profile. You're now looking at the demographics of what the free radio can offer. Then if we go to the right hand side at the top, if you bought this package, you get those number of adverts for that length of time during those times, if you have a look on that first column, and that gives you a total of 83 adverts of 30 seconds. If you look down in the bottom right, that will cost you £1,789.26 plus your VAT. So all that money will get you your advert heard 166 times, and 88,699 people will have heard that message. So that's the key bit, that bit at the bottom, that's part of what Free Radio will sell as their campaign, to say that's what they can offer a business who advertises on their radio. Now we're looking at some more local ones in the Media News Association. You'll notice that all these names are around our area and a little bit wider. Now, a new thing for you to take on board is the prices per column per centimetre. So if we have a look on the right hand side, we look at that housing headache advert at the top, you will see that it actually covers 3 columns. I'll show you where I mean by 3 columns on the width. And then per centimetre, it's how many centimetres it is across the top heading. Now an advert will charge for that level of space. So let's have a look at the prices. The Shropshire Star will charge £4.24 per column centimetre, so that gives you round about £305 for a quarter of the page. That's what we mean by quarter of the page, obviously plus VAT. The Wolverhampton Express and Star, slightly more expensive at £4.95 per centimetre column, and that gives you around about £356 per quarter and VAT. And then if you look at the other prices, we've got Telford Journal at £2 per centimetre column, and then we've got Shrewsbury Chronicle, Newport Market and Drayton Advertiser, Bridgnorth Journal and South Shropshire Journal. Now what you've got to think about is why they are so much cheaper than the Shropshire Star and Wolverhampton Express and Star. You go back to things like on the last slide on Free Radio, you've got to think about their reach. Now we're looking at some online ads. We're looking at Shropshire Live, which also includes Telford Live. Shropshire News and Entertainment, and it covers 180,000 online readers per month. So if we look at the reach and the reader's profile, you start to see similar facts that you've seen before with Free Radio. And then if you look at the top right, you've then got a nice explanation of what each bit is in the green, and they tell you the prices per week. And again, when you go out and actually organise an online campaign, you're not going to look at one hit in 1 week. You're going to do things for anything like 4 to 8 weeks per campaign. And at the bottom, if you wanted to have your advert amongst a particular feature or written work that they're doing, that's where the prices start from. Well, save the best till last. Here's the national press. I've managed to get some figures, not all of them, because these are highly guarded figures. So to give you some idea, they still work on the single column centimetre. So what that means is, if you look on the top right, then we've got an ad above the Guardian header. So it actually covers 5 columns, and then you measure the going down how many centimetres that is, and that's what they're charged. So that's what they still work on. So let's look at the figures then. I've managed to get a figure for you for The Sun newspaper, 1 full-page colour advert. Before lockdown, they would charge £43,000 per day. That works out as £120 per single column centimetre, and the 34/7 at the end tends to mean 34 centimetres and 7 columns, and then actually be the dominant of the page, so it will cover 3/4 of the page. And recently they've actually now this is how they've been hit because of the pandemic. They've actually brought their prices crashing down, so they're now £28,560 per day. So if we actually look at that a bit further, we look at the online Sun. If you took over their homepage for the day, it would cost you £25,000, but that would guarantee you £120,000 impressions, which means the number of times the advert is seen. Moving on to something else, obviously they're all the commercial ones. I can't comment on BBC because BBC doesn't actually run adverts. So looking at Sky, a 30-second commercial online running every day for 30 days during July, the high sporty season, would cost £98,994 for those 30 days. I've got another one. I've got a radio here for you, Talk Sport, which is obviously one of the leading sporting radio channels. That can offer 3,689,011 impressions. I've used the word again, just it's not quite right for radio, but it kind of means the same things. The number of times the ads are heard. So it can offer over 3.5 million for a 4-week sponsorship during July and October, during the airtime of 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, radio do class that as peak time airtime because that's when people are driving home from work, so they see the radio is being used in people's cars. Now, that kind of listening audience actually gives 6.7% of the whole male audience in the UK. So they think they've really got the target market and the profile sorted there, and that one sponsorship would cost £64,000. And the last one, Birmingham Mail, they charge £7.50 per single column centimetre. You might go, whoa, that's great, but you don't actually buy one column and 1 centimetre. So for a full colour page for one day, you would look to pay £1,785. And most companies, when they run a press campaign, would tend to buy 3 to 4 days during 1 week, and then they do 4 weeks over 2 months. They create a frequency. So advertising in the traditional media, in the press, is quite pricey indeed.